What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Kemet High, and it's time again for another episode of The Break Live. This week's guest has built her career so far off of pure bars and respect. Her name is Connie Diiamond. She's from the Bronx. She's been going dummy, as I'm sure y'all know. So, yeah, when she pulls up, we're going to chop it up with one of the illest lyricists on wax right now. So keep it locked. For those just now pulling up, Connie Diiamond about to be in the mix. Y'all show her some love in the comments. Go ahead, drop them blue hearts. Y'all know that's her favorite color, low key. But yeah, let me see what's up with it. Connie Diiamond, BX in the building. What's the word? Nothing to it. How you
going on? I'm okay. I'm a little late, but
you good. You good. We happy to have you. My name is Kim, and I'm excited to chop it up with you.
Thank you.
For sure. All right, you cool to you ready to get right into it? Word. My first question to you: what's your beef with the Boston Celtics?
I don't have beef with no NBA teams. I know everyone is chewing me up about the move outfit, right? Yeah. The thing is, let me just break that down to you real quick. I am a Lakers fan.
Okay.
I'm a Blazers fan, and the only reason why I had those two there is because the jeans that I got, those were like the NBA jeans from like the 2000s. And I had got a 3X. I found them in a thrift store. And I wanted to use them as an outfit for the video, give it a 2000 theme. So the only extra fabric I had was the pockets. And those were the main two teams on the pockets to make the top. So I like all teams.
Yeah. Well, first, the fit was heat. I just saw you. I saw you tweeted like, "Yo, people really put their money on the Celtics." So as a fan, I was like, "Damn, must be deep." But nah, the fit was fire though. I don't know what people talking about, but yeah,
thank you.
With that. All right, let me be real. Let me get into it for real. What part of the Bronx do you rep? Okay.
Fordham area.
What's it like up there? Like I used to live in Harlem, but obviously that's not the Bronx. What's it like in Fordham specifically? Really?
The Bronx is not that much different from Harlem as far as like, the activities that take place out in the hood or whatever. But the Bronx is cool. The Bronx is like I think we have a lot of there's a mixture of Hispanics on our side, like a big Hispanic community over here. It's pretty similar. We're like considered neighbors, so everything is pretty much the same. The only thing I would say is maybe like the way you guys dress, because I feel like we kind of dress a little bit different, but everything is pretty much.
How would you describe the swag then, coming from Fordham specifically? Is it like certain items that if you're from that area you was rocking, or certain compositions, or is it kind of like everybody got their own flavor? Because everybody in New York City fly, but yeah, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I think everybody got their own kind of flavor over there. I don't really think some people probably feel like you could tell like by like the way somebody dressed where they're from, but I feel like everything is still like very much seasoned, like New York.
Always setting the tone with the fashion. How'd you spend your time growing up? What are some things that you were into?
I spent some of my years in Queens, so I kind of was like back and forth. But yeah, it was basically just like studio, a lot of studio activities going on, doing collaborations. I did a lot of poetry growing up. Yeah, everything was pretty much just like creative related, if that makes sense. Like I was on the cheerleading team when I was in high school. Like everything was like in that field of like creative.
Makes sense.
Like,
now that's dope. A lot of I feel like the best lyricists have this relationship with poetry. Like, what would you say, or how easy or hard would you say it is to transition, like going from writing poems into like actual songs? Is it seamless, or is it something that you kind of had to, try to figure out with time?
Speaking from my own experience and for myself, I started out doing poetry. So, and once I realized I was really good with poetry, I kind of just started navigating to doing music. It's pretty much the same. I did a lot of poetry slams. I did a lot of a poetry contests in school and like even outside of school. And sometimes they offer to have like musicians like just play like little beats in the background or like a little piano cue while you're doing your poems. And that kind of kind of like helped me like navigate. Okay, I think I want to like do music too, because I was already kind of good with like just
You
putting
and I
words
both.
together.
I feel it. Who are some artists that made you fall in love with
Yeah.
rap? Let's get into
Oh
it.
my God. Dipset.
Oh
In high school, I
yeah.
was a big Dipset fan. Like, went crazy.
Yes.
Diplomats, crazy, crazy, crazy.
Onto
Remy,
that. Okay.
Jadakiss, Fab, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, um, Ghostface Killer. He was in my
Yeah.
top for
Respect to her.
sure. Yeah, I like a lot of. I like
Yeah.
all the real like New York artists. I like a lot of like some of the down south too. Like, but those are like my
For
top
sure.
listeners when I was in like growing up. Super,
What
super
was it
crazy like
about
Dipset fan
Dipset?
though.
I mean, obviously, I'm sure being up in New York around that time was insane. Seeing the music move through the streets and stuff. But yeah, what was it about Dipset that you gravitated toward?
Um, they really. I just feel like at the time that I was coming up and I was really like understanding music, they had like the city on smash. They had New York on smash. Like they really influenced like they influenced the culture a lot. The way they dressed, like you had everybody
Yeah.
wanting to do the bandanas, the American flag dripped
Right.
down. Like they really was doing a thing. I like the way they were like so like cohesive with each other, everything they were doing. Like they really gave New York like everything about it. Just like, and I feel like right now that's kind of what we're missing today. Like we don't really got groups. We don't have like rap
Facts.
groups and stuff like that anymore. But at that time
Yeah.
it was a vibe. Like we couldn't like it was a fucking vibe. So like, I really loved Dipset. Um, yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
I had a couple
Respect to it. Now you're right
CDs.
though. It's definitely a void when it comes to the groups. Like couple little drop-ins, but nothing as major as it was in the past. So I feel you for sure. Let's get into the first song you ever recorded. What are the details on that?
Oh my God. The first song I ever recorded, I think it was a song or some like, it was like a
Oh
Barbie
shit.
boombox kind of thing that I got for Christmas. And and it was like it came with like a cassette tape where you could like sing along with the Barbie. But I basically like I knew how to rewrite over the tape. So I rewrote over the tape and I just did my own song over it. Me and my
Yo,
cousin was like singing over it.
that's
It was lit.
crazy. You took a toy and that was your introduction to like a mainstream rap career. How old were you like around that time?
Yeah. Shit. I don't know,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
like 10,
For sure.
9.
So what happened
Yeah.
between, let's say, like the ages of 10 and 9, like the next decade? Did you continue to make music, or is it something that you put on the back burner and picked up a little later?
Yeah, like I started making music
Straight up.
again at like 14, 15 when I went to like when I first
Okay.
was in high
For
school.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
What would you say was like your introduction on a local level to like yourself as a rapper? What song really got you traction for the first time?
Um, I
Yeah.
did a freestyle to Drake Summer 16 and that was my first viral moment. Went
Yeah.
viral everywhere,
Absolutely. How did it
everywhere.
move the needle for you? Like how did you see the reception it was getting, and how did things change for you after you dropped that?
I got a really good response from it. People were like comparing me to like Missy Elliott and stuff like that at the time. I was a little heavier. It was lit though. I got a really good response from the city. It was when Tumblr
R.I.P.
was still a thing, so like it was like viral over all every single
Yeah,
like
yeah,
platform. It was
absolutely. You
everywhere.
feel like 2016, everybody loves that era of music. Do you feel like that was one of the best times? You agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta think about it. I gotta
Yeah.
remember like what was really circulating coming out. I think that it's really because like right now we have so many new social media outlets, and now it's like the music that that people are getting now, like it's like not flooded, but it's like it's so rapid now than before because we really only had like Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. We had a little bit of Instagram. Now we got Instagram Reels, Instagram Live,
Yes.
Instagram this, Instagram that. So like now I feel like it's more flooded with more platforms to like share the music. So it's like before
Yeah.
we have kind of limited. So
Yeah, for sure.
that could be.
How do you feel about that though? Do you like it? You know, the current climate, especially in comparison to you just being like a student of the rap game, so you kind of know how it was before. How do you feel about this specific time in music, like you said, where it's just platforms everywhere, the release rates are super, super
Yeah.
high, like
I'm not. It doesn't bother me. I'm a type of person that not know how to keep up with the Joneses, and I also know how to like navigate through like what's new, what's happening, and still kind of keep it me, still kind of still remain like me in the process. So it doesn't bother me. It's very interesting and good to still see people, you know, see how much music has evolved and how much new artists are out right now. So it's like it's fun. It's a fun time.
A lot of doors opening. Rewinding a little bit back around that summer 16 time, you went on tour with Azealia Banks shortly after that, right? For sure.
Yeah,
how'd you get connected to that? And like, what's one of your favorite memories from that time, if anything comes to mind?
I did a show with her in Montreal, in Canada, and that was the first time I was in Canada. It was a really, really big stage. I think I also did a show with her at the Gramercy, if I'm not mistaken. No, Highland Ballroom. And the crowd, it was a big crowd, but it wasn't as big as Canada. So the experience is really, really great. I opened up for her at both shows, and they loved me. It was good vibes. That was the biggest crowd I probably performed in.
Yeah,
biggest crowd I performed
that's wavy. Shout out to Azealia, man. She got her own lane, the rest of.
Yeah, she's cool.
100.
She's cool. She's good vibes, man. She's good vibes.
So I know your freestyles and your Lucy's got you a lot of traction. What would you say is the first project that really, you know, stuck out in your catalog and introduced yourself to the masses?
It probably was Trap Elliott. It could have been Trap Elliott 2 and 2.0.
Sure.
Yeah, it could have been those two. I felt like it could have been those two because I just had more variety of songs on there. I was kind of like experimenting with a lot, so showing people what I could do. And now it's interesting now because with this new project, I'm singing on a new project, and people are like, "Oh shit, I didn't know." And it's like you weren't listening to the old project, probably why. But it feels good because obviously now I have a bigger support. Now that I'm with Def Jam, I have more of what do you call it? More support, more you know, more people like helping me like push more of a platform.
And a legendary one at that.
Yeah.
On that note, Underdog Season was your label debut. What was the formula like of putting that together?
The thought process behind Underdog Season was just like always feeling like, you know, you're doubted and you're like always kind of coming in like second or third, and it's just kind of like due to just you know, people just not really too much believing in you. But I'm a person that I always like believe in what I do. I believe in myself, and sometimes I feel like I have to like I feel like I'm not like the other girls. I love where hip hop is. I love all the girls, but I kind of just want to like draw people in with like just strictly just genuine and just like straight, just like kind of like talent, if that makes sense. And yeah, you know, everything is a process. You know, we slowly stepping up the stones, slowly getting there. So my thing was just kind of like shine the light on the darkness and showing the light. The darkness is just me basically navigating through music and doing freestyles, you know, funding it myself, doing things myself independently, and now finally getting the light, seeing the light, getting signed by Chairman Tunji himself, and just, you know, he reached out to me himself, and just like kind of sort of, you know, showing everybody the steps and navigating through everything and showing them why I feel like I'm an underdog and how I'm gonna like switch the narrative when I'm like really like
statements was made that definitely leveled up when they got you on the roster. I want to get into some of the tracks from that project as well. Ray with Damien Lillard. Woo!
Yeah.
Heat box.
Yeah,
how'd you do that? Dame for that?
It's funny because me and Dame have a mutual friend. So one day we were chilling, keep it real brief. We were chilling, we was drinking, eating, chilling. He started freestyling, then I started freestyling, and we kind of just was going back and forth. Then he started telling me about the music he makes when he's doing the off season, and I kind of told him I was doing music, and he was just like, yo, whenever you're ready, if you want to cook something up, let's cook up. So when I figured out the record I wanted to use, because I probably knew for like maybe like a year and a half before I actually sent him the record. And when I sent him the record, he was like, "Oh yeah, this go." And he literally sent me the verse back the next day. So shout out to Dame. He's good vibes. He's a dope ass like rapper, so he's really, really good. And he's good at what he's done.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Or
there's a handful of basketball players that rap, but sometimes you can kind of hear that it's more so like a hobby. Dame though, like if he wanted to stop playing basketball and start rapping, I feel like he really got potential. So yeah, that was a fire link up for sure.
Yeah, he's really dope. He's one of those that's good on the court and good in the booth too. Like,
you also went, of course, you also went viral with the live performance and Move. Kind of around that same time. Like, what inspired the creation of that track?
Oh my God. Shout out to DJ Aaron. I was at a session with him and his brother, finishing up a feature for his brother, and before I left, he played the record for me, and I already had like 4 bars in my head. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta do this ASAP." And I cut it. And the funny thing about it is, when I tried to get it cleared, I couldn't get it cleared at first. I don't know what happened, but then when I put it out as a freestyle, it went viral, and it kind of just was like, "Okay, let's get it." I had everybody on Twitter like writing Ludacris and DM and all that stuff. It was lit.
That's what I saw. Like on my timeline specifically, it never kind of got up off of it ever since that moment dropped. So that's what kind of hit me to you. And then going through your catalog, I'm like, she had something special from the start, for sure.
Shout out.
Ken Man, obviously on the remix. I will say one thing about Ken Man, she means business. When she did the freshman class, she came into Cypher, only needed one take, bodied it right away. I feel like you had the same energy, so it was dope to see y'all on wax together.
Really? I'm really one take mommy. I love that. I love that for Ken too. Like, Ken is really my girl. Like, I knew Ken for years. Like, this was not no industry like, oh, let's get the girls together. Like, that's really my girl. And she reached out to me and she was like, "Yo, that verse is open. Let me get on that." Like, she's really cool. And we've always been trying to figure out what song we could do together to kind of like, so that we could be on the same page or whatever. But I met her at South by Southwest a couple years back, and we just stayed in contact. We always checking on each other. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling? Periodically congratulate each other. She's really a sweetheart. And yeah, shout out Ken. She came through, she did what she was supposed to do on a record. She came out. It was a good vibe. She came out here. We shot it. We went out. We had a good time at the club afterwards. Like, I'll give her her flowers anytime I can, because she really
both of y'all left no crumbs on the plate. Y'all ate that for sure. On the same note of Move, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna come up off of it. You also got shown some love by LeBron James. Not just a basketball player. We talking one of the biggest celebrities on the entire planet. Like, what was the moment where you peaked that he was posting your music and co-signing you? Did somebody send it to you? Did you come across it yourself?
I literally just got off a Zoom call with my team, and then my phone was blowing up. Like, literally, my phone was. I have that text message. LeBron posted LeBron. I'm like, what the fuck? So I went and looked, and I actually posted his story, and it was so cool because it was literally it was like a picture of his wife, and then it was just me on the story. So like everybody saw it, because he didn't post anything that day really, except those 2 things. So it was a great like surprise, because y'all know LeBron, y'all know what LeBron co-sign is a go, and y'all know he be on his moments when he play his music when he be turning up. So I'm very grateful that LeBron is listening and checking in for my music, man. I'm very grateful.
One of the biggest platforms in the world. Yo, LeBron, clearly he's so funny. He's such a hip hop head, but he got this reputation of like messing up lyrics sometimes. I feel like he just be in the vibe of it, and I get it. If he posted your music,
they need to leave him alone. He's just vibing.
I was gonna say, would you correct him, or would you just be like, "Nah, this the king"?
Nah, I'm gonna let him. It's whatever he say it is. Whatever he said it is, that's what it is.
I want to get into one more track, Pose. What do you remember about the day you laid that down? Super, super dope record. But yeah, what type of mindset were you in?
I'm so sorry. I'm like,
you good? Allergy season is going crazy right now. Yeah,
it's crazy right now. Yes, but Pose. It's funny because with Pose, I told myself that I wanted to make a record that like something that was short, like 12 bars. I'm usually doing 16. I'm like, okay, I need to start like cleaning them up, making it 12, getting catchy hooks. I wanted something for the females. I feel like females fuck with me. Like, I feel like the females do fuck with me. The guys fuck
Mm-hmm.
with me for sure. Like that's no doubt. The guys love me. But I feel like I was missing a record where the girls could kind of like take pictures to after they done getting ready, or like while they're out like enjoying themselves. They like
Yeah,
something they could just like you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I was missing that, so I immediately was just thinking of like TikTok catchy, Instagram vibey, like those type of shit. And that came, and I wrote that so
yeah.
quick. I was so happy.
What's your off that like? What's your process typically like? Do you write heavy? You kind of go in and freestyle? Like, is it depending on the beat? Definitely curious to know how you get there.
Honestly, for me, the process is never the same. I'm not even gonna lie, it's never the same. Most of the time, for a great percentage of the time, I'm at my house and I'm trying to figure out. I'm like doing like what do you call it, like mumbles or melodies and stuff like that, and I'm trying to like figure out what I want to say. So most of the time I'm writing before I get to the studio, but as of recently I've been just vibing out at the studio. The process is not really, it's never the same. Like I'll get there and I'll go with the intentions of working on a specific song, and then I'll get there and I'll start working on something different. So I'm writing on the spot. I hate to write on the spot because I hate to waste studio time. I like to know what I'm like. I like to know what I'm doing before I
mean,
get there.
first of all, it ain't cheap, and I feel like it goes by fast. Like so,
yeah, it's not
100
cheap at all.
can't
So
be in there messing around. You just spoke on this a little bit. I was gonna ask you like a couple questions later, but I feel like you got both down pat, like you said, the men and the women behind you. What would you say was kind of like harder? Like which side of the coin was harder to build in terms of establishing your fan base?
I feel like I always had both very decent male and female fan base, but I just don't feel like I had the records that made people wanna like, what do you call it? I feel like I had the records that made people wanna like get ready to, like maybe like when they're out and they're like vibing and they're in a car, they're driving. Like I make really aggressive music. So maybe something that you're driving to, or you're on a road trip or something, but like for the girls to like get ready to, doing their makeup, you know, songs that make you feel like a bad bitch. My music is typically like aggressive, beat a bitch ass, like snatch a bitch up, get a nigga beat up, like that type of stuff. And I feel like me making that transition is kind of like gravitated to all the females that like this, that already like my ratchet shit, and that wanted to do the soft girl shit, like the soft girl shit, you know?
Both sides. Let's get into the record label real quick. You signed to Def Jam. What year did you sign with Def Jam, and why? Why were they a fit for you? Nice.
I signed last year. Did I sign last year?
Word.
Yeah, I signed last year.
Why Def Jam?
I'm not gonna lie, I did get a couple offers, but I didn't have anybody that was one-on-one with me. Like Tunji, who is the CEO at the moment, he wanted to sit down with me. He wanted to speak to me face to face. Nobody else was kind of giving that energy. Everybody else was kind of like, they sent the A&Rs, or the A&Rs were grabbing me up, and they was taking me out to dinner and telling me, you know, give me shit for free and telling me they could put me places. But he wanted to sit down face to face. So I had dinner with Tunji and his wife in the city. And he just basically was just like, he was telling me that he kind of like went down a rabbit hole of my music. And I felt that was more personalized. I felt like he really did see something in me, and he wanted to take a chance to see where it could go. So I honestly feel like that's one of the reasons why. And another reason is because Def Jam is a legendary label. Just coming from being in New York, like, you know, Def Jam is just like, they stomped on shit. And I feel like it just made sense. Like, it just made mad sense. I felt really confident speaking with him. I still have a very good relationship with him now, where I can just call him like, yo, hey, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that, or yo, I'm gonna be in LA, like, you know, I love that. And I feel like a lot of artists can't really say that they have that ability to call their chairman and be like, this is happening, or, you know what I'm saying? So like, we're really close, and he's really cool, and you know.
Nah, for sure. I love to hear that. One thing that was interesting to me, like on the come up show, you was doing a freestyle and you said like basically like the only people on the label that could borrow with you was like Big Sean and Fab. I thought that was dope to hear you pop your shit in that way. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course,
and
of
it's no
course.
shade to anybody on the label. Honestly, I was just trying to create a bar that rhymed. I feel like there's other
Oh
very
yeah.
talented barred up people on the label. There's Pusha T, we got Jeezy, we got so many other
Uh-huh.
like really real lyricists. I'm
Oh shit.
really cool with Fab, so I was
Ah,
trying to give him a shout out as well. And Big Sean is another artist that I have not met yet on the label that I really love and want to meet and collaborate with. So I just decided to put those two in that bar. But it was no shade. Like
on
I
it.
fuck with everybody
Yeah,
on the
top
label and
top to
I love it.
bottom is solid. That's dope. I know the Big Sean though. Hopefully you see this and we get that collaboration as fans down the line. I feel like this for
Yeah, we
sure.
gonna
I feel like
get
this
it
is
going.
something maybe like Sean and Fab had to figure out. But what's the balance between like being a lyricist, you know, prioritizing bars, but making songs with a mainstream structure? Yeah, what's the balance
Repeat that for
between
me again.
like basically focusing on lyrics, but you know, sonically putting out something that could fly, for example, like on the radio or just to mainstream audiences?
I'm I'm actually still trying to navigate
Yeah.
through that right now, where I'm trying to figure out the what how do I like separate just rapping and bars between
Gotcha.
making an actual like record, a song. So for me, I can say it's been difficult, but I have been recently working with other creatives to help me navigate that and just give me pointers on how I can and just kind of keeping things more simple. Because I feel like the people that like if you notice like the people that are like that bar heavy or people that do battle rap, like they do really really great with like bars and battle rap, but then like their songs don't do as well
Yeah,
as
that's
like
what I
the
was asking.
battles or you know what I'm saying. So it's like I think it's because that we're so focused on we're so focused on trying to create the bars and we're missing the part where we're having fun. We're missing the part where you can just chant and say the fun, catchy shit that people really gravitate to when you hear songs. Because that's when you gravitate to the hook, the
Hmm.
catchiness. That's what really
Well, you
makes a
definitely
record.
on your way. You figured something out with Pose. So
Yeah, Pose.
yeah, hell yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Pose worked out.
Connie, I got two more questions for you. What are you into
Yeah, let's do it.
outside of rap? When you're not in the booth, you know, living your life as an artist these days, what type of time are you on?
What's my reason on channel? Well, you know, I really just my life so far has been consumed
Gotcha,
with just doing
gotcha.
music. Honestly, like I really don't. I don't do anything outside of music. Like I
Oh
used to
no.
do hair. Like I was a hairstylist at one point. That was what I
Oh,
was doing on the side when I was doing music. But now I think I'm full time just wrapped up in just like creating or whatever. I most of the time
oh
I do
yeah.
my video treatments
Okay,
too. Like excuse me, I'm really good with like video
makes
treatments
sense.
and stuff like that. Anything that's creative, like anything that's
Yeah,
like
now
where
that's
you got
gonna
to create
go a long
something.
way
I
because
guess.
throughout your career, you won't need somebody in your ear to tell you how to make plays. You set it up yourself. So
Oh yeah, I'm very much involved with just like the creative process
rightfully
of
so.
just with me and my team too. Like I'm very involved
Oh
in the
yeah.
creative direction.
Straight up. My last question to you for the rest of 2023. Obviously, new project out right now. People been running that up, talking about it.
Yes, Underdog season out
Yes, that
everywhere.
part,
Please
that
keep
part.
streaming him.
What else can fans expect for you this year?
Oh yeah, well I might put
Oh,
out another project this year. I'm gonna be a part of a lot of other big projects that are
okay.
coming out really soon. I want to say more features, more really dope features from New York, from all over, and just straight up
Yeah,
elevation and
that's
good
what it
vibes.
is. Shit
That's it.
like that. Connie, I appreciate you for taking the time. Thank you for the dope combo. And of course, we look
Of
forward to the rest of your
course,
career, everything you release. Underdog season out right now. Y'all make sure y'all run that up. Straight up.
please
Yes,
do.
sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Underdog season everywhere.
Peace.